Hello and welcome everyone. I am super excited to begin this journey with you where we will be looking at the second part of our business syllabus, the A2 part of it. Now, previously across the AS syllabus, we have fully developed an understanding of what a business is all about. We learned about how its structure is decided, how a partnership or a public limited company would be formed, how you're responsible to your stakeholders, how you look after your workers, how you look after your customers and all of them, how you decide your objectives. And then based on those initial workings, then the business decides to set up departments, and then those departments would include marketing, operations, finance, and HR, which would then combined would form the business. Each department would have their own objectives, their own tools to achieve those objectives, and if all those objectives are achieved, the overall company's success is also achieved. So we know what a business does. They buy things, they convert them into a product, and then they sell it for a profit. And where does that profit come from? That profit comes from the money that these happy customers are willing to pay. And that's where I'm going to begin our conversation today. The customer. You, me, we're all customers in some way or form. I demand a Coca-Cola, you may demand this education. So there are different things that everybody wants. And different people have different likings, different tastes, different preferences. But some things that remain common among all customers, all consumers, is that we all love pizza, right? And we're all here because we love pizza. So we want pizza. And what I mean by that is we have need for food. We need to eat. We also want to be entertained, maybe some music, musicians, radio stations, TV stations, music apps, Spotify, and all those. We require those things from other businesses. We also need infrastructure. I promise you that's not a crown, that's a bridge. And we need infrastructure to get around. Along with that, we also need housing. We need a place to live, whether to rent it, whether to own it. What you need, a place to shelter yourself. We also need to be communicating with others. You need to be connected. You have the internet, you want phones, all of those things. And we also will, hopefully, not too often, but you want to go in for checkups every now and then. If, God forbid, something happens, you have a service of a hospital or any other service like that, education, which should be provided. So those are things that remain common among most customers. You would all want these things. Now, you will remember that we discussed over the AS part of our syllabus is that at the end of the day, these services are being provided by two sectors. One of them is your public sector, which is run and owned by the government. And the other one was the private sector, which was run and owned by individuals. Now, in this video particularly, we're going to focus on the topic of privatization. Why are we doing that? Because across the next few videos, and quite a few videos, we're going to look at how a business is influenced by the dynamic external environment around it. Right? The business is there in the center, but all around it, there's the government, there's your workers, there's community, there's technology, there's so many things that happen. And we're going to begin by looking at the influences that the government has on business activities, starting with a conversation on privatization. Now, what is privatization? A privatization is a move where a business transfers most of its ownership in enterprises to private organizations. And that starts from the question of how much do we want to control? We being the government, how much do we want to control in the economy in terms of business activity? Do we want to produce it and sell it, or do you trust the individuals in the country to sell and provide it? And when they make the move of transferring ownership of institutions and of enterprises from public to private sector, that movement is known as privatization. So now let's look at that in a little more detail. So, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, privatization is all about transfer of ownership from the government to individuals or groups of individuals who are part of your private sector. Now, the biggest motivation for any government to do that is to change the objective of that particular business from being public welfare center to profit maximization. Remember, private firms will have owners, shareholders, and they demand profits, and that is very, very different from how a public sector works. Public sector, they still get the money from the taxes, and yes, there's accountability, but there's also red tape and bureaucracy, and we'll get to that in a minute. But the main idea for changing into private sector is because they're at very, very close controls over how profit is being made and how the costs are being reduced. So moving it to being a business which has profit at the center of its objective is important. And the reason why they do that is because in order to achieve that profit, you have to have competition, and you must show that you are willing to spend, expand, and grow. So private sectors, when they grow, when they get bigger, when they advertise more, when they sell more, yes, they're showing growth. At the same time, they aren't the only organizations that are doing that. There are other businesses, competitors who are doing the same thing, and they are both driving each other to be more innovative, which eventually will help the consumers and as well as generating more income for the government. Now, the government, by going to this policy of privatization, shows that they're practicing the laissez-faire style of leadership, where they're taking their hands off, just supervising, while they still control certain critical businesses, like some of the utilities may be controlled, the central bank, airports, and certain institutions and businesses will be controlled by the government, but that will be very small proportion compared to the ownership given to private sector when you go towards privatization. Now, we have to understand that different governments will have different views on privatization. Some will encourage it, some may not find this to be a good idea. So at the end of the day, this is a policy decision that the government chooses to go towards it or not. But across the last few decades, since the mid-80s, now we've seen more and more governments giving up control in state-owned organizations and giving it to private sector. Reason? To improve efficiency. Private sectors have specific goals, specific targets from the CEO to the last worker, as we've learned through the management by objective philosophy. And once the profit maximization objective is decided, then all the workers are working towards managing costs and production so that the highest level of efficiency can be achieved. Along with that, the only way for private sector organizations to remain ahead and to be profitable is to be innovative and to show to their stakeholders that they're really giving their rights to them as well. For example, shareholders are given their profits, workers are given their salaries and promotions, suppliers are given their rights. So all those things will work cohesively better in a private sector because they're all working towards innovation and bringing better goods for the customers. Also, you will remember that we discussed a couple of topics called demand and supply, which together are called market forces. Those are the most organic way to determine how much of a product is being demanded and how much of a product is being produced willingly by the producers on the demand and supply curves. And that's a natural way of determining what to produce and how to produce and how much to produce. If the government controls it, then sort of like manipulating the demand of goods. But with privatization, you let the market forces play out, and what the consumers want, the consumers get, and what the producers want, the producers get. So 3 very good reasons to go towards privatization. But there's more. Now, sadly, we've seen sometimes in the past that public sector is often associated with slowness of work, job not being done efficiently. And that arises from problems that come from red tapeism, the bureaucratic structure of the government, the political gains that some of the members may be trying to get. So because of those problems, there's very, very slow decision making and the execution of that plan. If you go towards the private sector, where everyone's accountable, there are weekly checks, monthly checks, annual general meetings, all stakeholders want to make sure that things are being done right. As long as that's being done, you'll be more efficient. So privatization would help in achieving that. For the government, when they transfer this stake from the government to the private sector, they will not do it for free. They will sell those organizations, and that money that's generated becomes extra income for the state, which can then be used for other public welfare programs. And finally, private sector has many more avenues available to it in order to generate more finance. They could go for venture capitalists, they could get microfinance, they could have people in the stock exchange buying shares. So there are a lot more avenues for them to be more sustainable and generate more finance as compared to the government. So in the favor, there's surely some solid reasoning behind going towards privatization. However, we can't fully decide without looking at the flip side and discussing the reasons against privatization. Now, the arguments against it are quite solid as well. Public welfare is a public matter, meaning everyone needs to have certain industries providing certain goods. For example, water, clean water, electricity, and those things. And as long as it stays in the public sector, meaning the government controls it, even if it's a loss making business for them, they would still continue with it because it's the need of everybody in the country. However, if you move it towards the private sector, the only thing that decides whether a business stays on or not is that if it's making profit or not. So if you transfer your utilities to a private sector and they're not making money, they will shut it down. And a lot of the essential products that are being given to the people will not be there anymore. So there is that catch with going towards privatization. Also, if you give up things that were in the control of the government into the hands of private sector, then they might start monopolizing that resource. Maybe it's oil, something else that is necessary for everyone else. And if you give it to one particular business, then they might start exploiting it. So fear of monopolies forming is quite real there. And finally, when the government keeps control of most of the industries, they can make a holistic plan with uniformity across the different businesses, having their own objectives and making sure that the different businesses are given fair chance to run properly, and making sure that the whole country has a uniform policy will only be possible if the government controls most of the businesses. So, good and bad, there's an argument for it, there's an argument against it, and at the end of the day, it depends on the current economic climate of the country and what the current government thinks of the movement of privatization, whether to go ahead with it or not.